Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I will be looking at the CPUFX Nitro system. This is basically a water cooling rig, and I will be looking at this video in two parts. The first part will be focusing on the case, and the second part will be focusing on the water cooling, how it's installed, how it performs, and so on. The first part focuses again on the case, and the case I will be looking at today is the Coolmaster ATC 210. Of course, one of the first things you'll notice about this case is the front. It has a very attractive front with this acrylic see-through door. This door does come in different colors. Now in the front of the case here we have four 5¼ inch bays. We also have two 3½ inch. You have a power button right here, a reset button down here, and at the very bottom you have two USB ports. At the top of this case you have one blowhole standard here, pulling out all the hot air in the case, and also you'll see a huge hole right here for a 120mm fan. Now this is actually the hole for the radiator. The radiator is below this. I'll go into the water cooling in the next part of this video review, but of course this is where that 120mm fan gets installed and ports air out of the case. Just to have a closer look here at the door on this case. Now this is something of course very distinctive to most cases on the market these days. You have a nice clear see-through case here, and of course you can see here this does swing open very easily, and it closes very easily as well. There's two magnets here, one at the top and one at the bottom, which holds this tube when it goes shut, and you can see here it shuts very easily. Now it does of course line up and look really neat, but I would have liked to have seen a latch on this, some kind of a permanent latch which keeps this door closed in transportation. At the back of the case here at the very top you'll notice that there is a space of course to put the power supply. Now there's a couple of brackets which comes with this particular case. These brackets go mounted to different power supply, of course, depending on what power supply you have. Once you mount this bracket to your power supply, you then take the whole unit back and just mount it inside of the computer case. Right here you'll notice there's a fan that ports all the hot air out of the case. Right here, once your motherboard is installed, things like your LPT ports, your COM ports, your mouse, your USB do protrude through this area, and of course you can plug them directly in. Now at the very bottom here you'll notice that this is where the slots are, and of course things like your video cards, your sound cards, your NIC cards get installed inside the case into the motherboard and of course protrude there. You'll also notice on the back of this case that there are thumb screws. Thumb screws are fantastic because it makes it so simple to remove parts of the case like the motherboard tray or the side panels. As I mentioned, this case does have a removable motherboard tray. I'll just show you here how simple it is to move this thing in and out. To take it out, very easily slip it all the way out. Do what you have to do, bring it back to the case and slip it back in. Now this case comes with two plastic sliders, one at the top and one at the very bottom. You can see here it is extremely easy to pull this in and out, and that of course makes it very simple for you to install a new motherboard, to install a new CPU, a new cooler, whatever you have to do. Of course it makes it so much more easy to take this thing out and work on it outside the case, and of course just bring it right back. Taking a closer look here inside of the case, at the very back we have a fan which ports all of that hot air, as well as one at the very top. Now like most cases you have these cables for the power LEDs, the hard drive LEDs, the power switches and the reset switches, and of course all of these go plugged directly into your motherboard, as well as a speaker connection right here at the very bottom. We also here have USB connections on this case. As I showed you earlier, there's two ports in the front of the case. This goes plugged directly into your motherboard, and of course that gives you that USB functionality on the front of the case. As I mentioned before as well, at the top here we have four 5¼ inch bays. There is two 3½ inch exposed bays here, and there's actually four more hidden 3½ inches inside this case. There's no denying the fact that this case is very, very high quality. All the pieces fit very well. Thumb screws without the case, of course. It's aluminum. It has that cool front. The door opens and closes. USB at the bottom. Has all those bays. Also has a removable motherboard tray. There's no denying that this is definitely a kick-ass product. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and this has been another video review. Be sure to check back very soon. I will have a brand new one for you then. Also check out my website at www.3dgameman.com. And while you're there, pop into the forums. Of course, you could go in there, and if you haven't already registered, you can go in there and register. And registration, of course, is free. You can leave your own suggestions and comments and find out all kinds of information about this product and about all the products which I video review. Until the next time, take care.